Intro: imagine waking up one morning, going about your day as usual, when suddenly you're arrested without being told why. This is how Joseph K.'s life unravels in Franz Kafka's The Trial, a surreal existential novel about the absurdity of bureaucracy, guilt, and the quest for justice. Today we'll dive into one of the most iconic novels of the 20th century and unpack the chaos of Kafka's world. So let's begin. Introduction to Joseph K. Our protagonist, Joseph K., is a respectable banker. He's living a seemingly normal life in an unnamed city full of ambition and confidence. But on his 30th birthday, everything changes. Two men enter his room and he's told he's under arrest. Strangely, they don't specify why or what crime he's committed. And despite this arrest, Joseph is allowed to continue his normal life. He's even told he'll be tried, but the trial could take a while. The trial begins. Joseph's trial is not like any other. Instead of a trial in front of a judge, he faces a surreal, chaotic system. The court sessions take place in cramped rooms with no clear structure. He doesn't know what he's being charged with, but still he's expected to defend himself. The legal system he's up against feels more like an oppressive maze. Nothing makes sense, and no one explains anything. The bureaucratic nightmare. As Joseph tries to make sense of the situation, he realizes the bureaucracy is impossible to navigate. The court is filled with strange impersonal figures. There's an examining magistrate who seems more interested in touching his face than in the case itself. He encounters court officials who seem either totally uninterested or completely cryptic. Nothing about this system is logical. It's a maze with no exit. Everything moves in circles, and it becomes clear Joseph is trapped in an inescapable system. The parable of the law. Enter the parable of the law. While grappling with his case, Joseph meets a priest who tells him a story about a man who spends his entire life waiting at a gate hoping to enter the law. The gatekeeper tells him he's been waiting for the wrong reasons and that the gate is meant for him alone, but now it's closing. This story, like the trial itself, highlights Kafka's critique of systems that are meant to serve us but often deny us access and understanding. The law is something unreachable, a barrier that only deepens Joseph's confusion and guilt. Key characters. Throughout the story, Joseph meets various characters, some who offer help, but none who truly seem trustworthy. Lenny, a seductive woman, seems to know too much about the court, yet she offers no concrete answers. The painter, another court insider, claims to understand the system, but his advice only adds to Joseph's paranoia. And then there's the priest who, despite offering some wisdom, leaves Joseph with more questions than answers. These characters add to the growing sense that Joseph is not in control of his fate, and no one can offer real support. Guilt and alienation. As the trial drags on, something strange happens. Joseph starts to feel guilty, but he can't figure out why. He hasn't been told what he's charged with, and he doesn't even know if he's guilty. Kafka delves into the psychological aspect of the story as Joseph becomes increasingly alienated from society. His growing sense of guilt is not based on actions, but on a deep existential feeling that something is wrong in the world. This theme of unexplainable guilt is central to Kafka's writing. Are we all guilty in some way, or is society the one that imposes guilt on us? The ending. The novel builds toward an unsettling, ambiguous conclusion. After a year of bizarre court hearings and confusing encounters, Joseph is led to a desolate quarry by two agents. There in the cold, he is executed without trial, without clarity, and with no explanation. His last words are a strange mix of defiance and resignation. In Kafka's world, justice doesn't come. It's never clear if Joseph was guilty or not. What's most disturbing is the realization that the trial was never about truth. It was about a system that consumes people regardless of their innocence. The themes. The trial is more than just a story about a man caught in a legal nightmare. Kafka uses the trial as a metaphor for modern life, where individuals are trapped in a system they don't understand and can't escape. The novel explores existential themes of alienation, guilt, and the absurdity of life. Kafka asks, can we ever truly understand the forces that control us, or are we always at the mercy of an indifferent system? Conclusion. The trial is a timeless exploration of the human condition, our struggle for justice, our fears of guilt, and our fight against systems that seem designed to break us. What do you think Kafka was trying to tell us? Was Joseph guilty? Was the system flawed? Or was it just a reflection of our own inner struggles? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the trial, don't forget to like and subscribe for more literary